and welcome to Cosmic Birthing. I'm Fernanda Castro and I'm here to share with you the latest channeled message and energetic transmission that I received from the Group of 8 within this Soul Emergence transmission series. So the Group of 8, they are a collective of 8 or multiples of 8 streams of high consciousness or beings of light. And their main intention and purpose is to share uplifting and encouraging messages with humanity during this chaotic and challenging transitional period that we're all going through personally and collectively. In case you haven't listened to the previous messages, I'll put the link above so that you can access that more easily. But the first message was about self-balancing and reaching that equilibrium point within yourself and creating from that neutral space and the effect that has on manifestation. The second one was about the subtle differences between choice and judgment, and again how that affects our creations, and basically highlighting the importance of being united as humanity in our differences, allowing everybody to have their opinions, even if they are not what you prefer, but be united on a higher perspective. And the current message, it's about, not surprising as they are building up on each other, it's about clearing old patterns of belief, ancestral baggage that we bring with us when we come into this life, childhood trauma. So it's all about clearing and releasing old patterns and imprints. I noticed actually with this message that there was quite a bit of repetition with certain words, so I asked them why they chose to speak in that way, and they said that words of course have energetic imprints within themselves. It's not just about the message in terms of language, and so the certain words, they are keywords that trigger release processes within us. So they're like activation points to initiate this process of release, which will happen in waves. So I hope you enjoy the message. If you're interested in the transcripts for these messages, because they are quite long messages, so you may want to refer to them in a paper form or keep a record of them, you can download them for free from my website, and that's www.cosmicbirthing.com, and I'll put that in the description as well, so you can be redirected there. And once you are at the site, you can also have access to bonus gifts. At the moment, there is a self-care for highly sensitive and empaths. Again, lots of different practical suggestions to help you to rebalance mentally, emotionally, and physically. Just little tips. So this e-booklet is really helpful. The other one is about abundance, to increase the flow of abundance into your life. I think there's so many of us that are being affected with the coronavirus pandemic, and so reframing our mindset regarding abundance, it's quite important, and it's a very useful little guide for you to reframe and be grateful for the wonderful things that you already have in your life, and help to manifest more of what you want rather than what you don't want. Okay, and as always, if these messages are reaching you and they are being of any help, please click like so that I know that they are being useful. Please subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to be notified of future messages, click on the little bell as well, so you'll get those notifications straight away. All right, any comments or questions, you can just add in the comment box and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so nice to see you again, and I wish you all the best in this month of November, which I have a feeling is very emotionally charged and maybe challenging at times for us, but we'll all get through it. We all have gifts within us. They are ready to be shared with the world. So just reminding you that you are safe and that you can share your magnificence with everybody now. All right, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Indeed, it is with great pleasure and honoring that we step forward once again. We cannot bear or hold back in our excitement and pleasure in seeing you, humans, humanity, the inhabitants of the planet Earth, not only the humans, but now we refer to the collective of the animals, plants, rocks, and all other sentient beings that form part of your Gaia collective consciousness. You are indeed going through a tremendous amount of clearing up, of change. And you can imagine from our perspective, this is the most beautiful event. You, within your core seed of the divine, with your core essence, is also jubilant at this experience, that it has finally arrived after many, many millennia. You do understand that from your egoic mind, your persona, your 3D everyday self, it is hard to appreciate the grandiosity or the magnificence of such a transformational phase that is ongoing within yourselves, within every structure of your being, within your etheric, spiritual, energetic bodies, subtle bodies, but also collectively as a planet, as if a swirl, a gyroscope of energy is really spinning fast. And with that, it creates more and more energy, which for your mind, let's say that it has such a strong vacuum or centrifugal force that it pulls out the dirt, the heaviness, the old karma, the pain from the many wars and conflicts and death and suffering, not only from humanity, but from other beings that have also suffered. And all that energetic imprint that has been so prevalent, so strong within your grid of your lattice of magnetic field around your planet, which stores this type of energy, this remembrance. The system in itself is flawless, it's beautiful. It is just that you were in a phase where most of the memories, or there was a higher propensity to store the pain, the heaviness, because that was the predominant energy. And so that was stored in this grid system, in this lattice. But you are now in the new dawn, and you will soon enough appreciate the help that these grids, they have been put in place for a reason, a benevolent reason, not to keep you in the suffering, in the heaviness. But as you step forward into this new era for humanity, and you do go through this process of cleansing, of clearing, of purging and transmuting all this trauma, once this grid is completely clean, you will marvel at the effect that it will have on you, on your planet, and how that will allow even higher energies to be anchored, to be stored within its grids, and how that will support you and encourage you to move forward in a whole new way that you cannot imagine at the moment, because you don't know what you don't know. It is unimaginable at the moment. But we would like to reassure you that this process of clearing, albeit we understand it can be very uncomfortable, because no being, and this is not only humans, but no conscience, no sentient being, enjoys, takes pleasure in facing up to their flaws, to their shadows, to their traumas. And collectively, no society, no community enjoys having to taking responsibility for their participation, encouragement, and silence and allowance for the atrocities that have taken place within your reality, within your existence in this field, this playing field. And so it may be a very painful and traumatic experience. But I would like to remind you that if you approach this experience from a place of compassion for yourselves, for your neighbors, for your societies, a place of understanding that it has been a process of learning, in the same way that you do not get angry and vengeful on a child when they decide to paint it on the walls, because this was part of their development, their natural development. It may be something that it is not helpful, that it's not good for you as an adult, and you can see the silliness of it, but for that child in that moment, that was what was driving it, that was its intention, because it had to be expressed, it had to be experienced, and that experience had to be learned in that way, how to interact with its external world. He wanted to paint, but I wanted to use certain dark colors and painful colors, and so he did. But as it grows, he understands that one, there are other colors, other crayons to paint with, and he will then also realize that there is no need to paint on the walls if that's not appropriate. But there are times that painting on the walls will be more than appropriate. And so that child will learn when to use certain colors and where to use it. And this is the same with society and you as a person. Certain experiences happen for a reason. Certain were driven by past experiences, and we mean from not only this life, but energetic imprints from other realities, other existence that are there, that also needs to be cleared. But you also have the positivity of other lives. They're also there to reassure you that within you there is that knowledge, that wisdom, that at a certain point you will learn the difference and you will progress into another phase where you'll be exploring something else. And it is now at this stage of a sort of graduation of course, there's always going to be things to clear. There will always be lessons or experiences to be lived, experienced, because that is the whole point of existence, to exist, to experience, to expand, to create something anew from the old. And so there is always this fluidity, this movement, the dying of the old, of what you perceived once at one point to be the new. But you progress, you experience more, you gather all the information that you need from that experience, and then that becomes obsolete. And you create a new experience, new things, new challenges, new wonderful gifts, new wonderful experiences to share with others, to experience, to embrace, to receive from Source, God, universal love, whichever way. And so it is a process. It is a fluid process of releasing the old, allowing it to dissolve. Do not attach yourself to it. It is not you. It was an expression of you, those actions, those events, but they are not you. And so you can allow them to be released, to be washed away, to be sucked into this spiral of energy that is upon you, clearing, pulling out things that no longer serve you. And there are things that you're not even consciously aware that you are clearing. It is being released through your pores, as if you are sweating off toxins. Your body is constantly doing that. You're constantly eliminating things that no longer serves the body. Through your perspiration, sweating, crying. All your elimination systems. You're releasing things that no longer serve you. Now, your conscious mind, your mental ability is not paying attention to those processes of clearing or clearance. It's simply happening on its own, because your body knows what it needs. In the same way, your soul knows what it needs. And it is also releasing through other mechanisms, of course, more subtle mechanisms, but they are also releasing things that no longer serve you. So trust in the intelligence of your soul as you trust in the intelligence of your body. You never question it. It knows how to sweat and how to release too much heat or toxins or wasteful food. Trust your soul that it also knows. And sometimes the process may affect your emotions, sometimes it may affect your thoughts, sometimes it may affect your physical body, because everything is part of one. complex mechanism, circuit of energetic pathways, to allow yourself to be okay with that. And trust that what needs to be released is being released. If it helps you, you can say it in your mind. I release. I allow what no longer serves me to be released gracefully, joyfully, open-hearted, and compassionately. That it may not happen as I wish or I envisage it to be the best way for something to be released. But trust that the important thing is to release. You may have a few days that you were a bit upset, emotional, or even angry. And you catch yourself saying things or behaving in a certain way that you realize now at this point that you are better than that there was an overreaction, there was a knee-jerk reaction to something that you got triggered. Now there is no benefit for you to then go on top of that and judge yourself even more and add all that pain, that shame, that criticism, that non-productive criticism inward. Accept it, embrace it, and release with forgiveness, with understanding that you're doing your best, that your body, your soul, your being is doing its best to release, to clean things that need to be cleaned out. Be compassionate with yourself. Do not be impatient. This process cannot and will not happen overnight. If you were to, let's say metaphorically, suck out all the dirt that it's being ingrained within your energetic fields, yourselves and of your planet, all in one go, the whole system would just collapse. The whole thing will simply just be sucked into this vacuum of divine energy. And the whole matrix, or the fundamental foundations of your reality, would cease to exist. So things can only be released slowly. Like you need to let your dirty washing to soak in soap. Because you know, if you put it in pure bleach, yet it may clean, but you destroy the clothes in the process. Would you want clothes with holes, with all the fibers being eaten away by this harsh, strong chemical? Or you have lots of stains because they remove dirt at different rates from different places? It is the same here. You accept that, oh, this is stained, this is dirty. I'll put in wash. I'll soak it, maybe slightly warmer clothes. Let's increase the heat in this so that the molecules, the stains can start loosening up, be released from these fibers. And so that the water around, the environment around with the soap can break up these links, these bonds to the fiber. And they can be absorbed by the water molecules and other things. Gently, gracefully. And then you receive an almighty wash of clean water and clean energy. And so it is with great love and admiration that I say to you that Allow yourself to soak in this warm, soapy water for a while. It is for your benefit. It is gently clearing and cleaning things that need to be released. And naturally there will come a time, as it would in your washing machine, where all of this dirty water will be removed, washed away. And you receive a beautiful wash of clean, vibrant water, spring water, full of high energy, vibrant in its life force, which will wash away the remains. And then you feel like clean clothes with that beautiful smell, freshness, ready to be worn, to be out and about. We hope that these metaphors, analogies, although they may be simplistic at times, that they just give you mental pictures of things that are happening on your everyday life. Smaller processes that are also expressed in the bigger picture. So that you ease yourself into them with less resistance, with more acceptance, with more understanding that it is a simple process of clearing. It does not need to be so chaotic. It's not the end of you. It's not the end of the world. It may be the end of the world as you perceive it now. But this is merely only a single expression of infinite possibilities of how this world can be and will be and is. So be at peace within yourselves. Allow yourselves to go through this deep wash, even if it feels that you're being shaken about as you would in a washing machine vigorously, so that those fibers are loosened up, so that the dirt can interact with the water, with the soap, and be released. It needs to come up within yourselves, to be seen, to be observed, to be within your free will, your focus, your intention, your understanding, with the power of creation, for you to create something new, for you to actively release these things that no longer serve you. And what better way than to be exposed to situations where these feelings, this trauma are triggered and come to the surface, so that you can see it, you can become aware of them, and then you can choose to release it. Give it to your guides, give it to nature, use whichever method helps you to visualize this process of releasing. Imagine yourself inside a washing machine. Imagine yourself in a bath with soap and crystals, whichever. Imagine all that being released, being given away to the water, to the guides, to the angels, to the trees, knowing that it will be transmuted, and the energy will be cleared and recycled back into the system, because energy never dies, it only changes. And the same is with you and everything around you. It never dies, never ceases to exist. It seems to change form, shape. So enjoy this wash from the point of view that you are releasing. You are clearing all those stains, all those dirt stains from a long time. Hard ones that may need to stay in the sun for a little bit with a bit of soap to really soak, to help, to speed up. Sometimes you need the heat to catalyze these processes, to warm things up, to boil it up, to bring to the surface, to break those hard bonds to the material that's been grained for a long time. But it is a process. It is temporary. And you are eternal beings. So rest in that knowingness. All is well. Always it's meant to be. And you are eternal. And soon enough, you will feel more easily that beautiful, vibrant wash of divine light, of pure light. And a whole new experience will emerge. Is already emerging out of this process of clearing. Have faith on yourselves and the divinity within you, that it knows what's doing. Allow yourself to flow, to go with it. And as always, it is our pleasure to support you, to honor you, to soothe your pain. Ask for our help, and it shall be given. We are forever present within yourselves. You are never alone, no matter what process you're going through. And this shall also pass. It is with great love and respect that we retract now. And so it is. I hope you enjoyed the message and that you can take something from it to help and to apply in your life. Trust that the energetic transmission will be received by you even if you're not conscious of it, and just allow it to process. All right? So please click like, subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye.